Now, there's two ways to do it. Who here is soft on the phone? Raise your hand. We're family. Who's soft? Okay. Who's hard on the phone? Okay. And it didn't matter. I've seen plenty of men, plenty of women. Who thinks I'm soft? Raise your hand. One person. Somebody said, I like you, so it's okay. Guys, I'm the softest person that you're ever going to meet. I am. And I'm also the hardest person that you're ever going to meet. All right? What that means is that I'm a chameleon. I am a real person. That's what I am. I'm a real person. I have emotions just like everybody. Everybody gets their bad days. You wake up on the wrong side of the bed. But keeping posture and keeping your professionalism and coming across straight, don't misinterpret my energy. When I'm here to want to get deals done with you guys, I do have vested interest in all you. You know that. And I told you that the day we met. Each and every one of you. Who hasn't heard me say that before? Everybody has, because I do. You guys are here. I got a good-sized room here. I got a good-sized room of people that I want to do business with. And if you guys want to continue to do business, you're here because you want to do business with me, right? Is there anybody here that doesn't want to do business with me? See? I'm here with you guys because I want to do business with you. You want to do business with me. We're all motivated. We're all in the same boat. All right? So don't sit there and misinterpret my energy for being hard. I'm actually really soft. Okay? But when I'm on the phone, I'm all about business after I create a relationship. And I can turn it on and off. And you guys just need to go ahead and sharpen your negotiation skills if you're not willing to go a little hard. But let me go ahead and define soft and hard, and then we're going to go ahead and get into getting the seller on the phone, because that's our mission statement for this section of master negotiation with Terry. Soft is be a chameleon, slow down. Now, this is why I can be soft on the phone, guys. If I'm speaking with somebody on the phone, like the gentleman on the senior living facility, I was the softest person ever on the phone, all right? Compassionate, soft, understanding, listen more than I speak, concerned, and also professional, and also keeping the ball moving forward, and very straightforward. Because people respect people who are straightforward. If you're straightforward and you're telling it like it is, then guess what? You're not a time waster. People do not want their time wasted. I can sit on the phone and talk to anybody for hours and hours and hours about anything. But we want to know if it's a deal, and we want to move forward. So soft is to be a chameleon. Slow down. Slow down. And that's don't, not Don. I don't even know who Don is. Don't be over anxious. Don't let everything out at once. Okay? Don't sound desperate. Is that important? Oh, yeah. Well, do we have a deal? Do we have a deal? Can we do this? What about if we go ahead and pay a little bit more? Can we make it happen? Just slow down. Keep your emotions in check. Keep control and hold your cards close to your chest. In other words, phase into the negotiation through conversation. Just like I said. Now, hard, we all know this one all too well. All right? Now, who here has heard me on the phone before besides Kevin? A couple people? All right. Now, what is it? What is it? Oh, on the CDs, I'm on the phone. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay. I meant personally on the phone. You will. You probably heard me on the phone, and I call it kicking some butt. I'm here to get the deals done. And sometimes you just have to adjust and be a little bit harder through negotiations, okay? Now, it's not what you think. I do only come across hard when I need to, but still. Sometimes it's fun. I enjoy it when it's all about getting it done. Now, if you're not a hard person and you have more of a relaxed personality, that's okay too. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to be hard. I don't want anybody to change. Be yourself. Everybody likes you, who you are. You don't ever have to be anybody else, okay? You can use firm, silent approach, and silence is very, very strong. Lisa knows that. I don't like the silent approach. It's like, did I say something wrong? Right? When you're silent, guys, it changes the tone. You can stop things from happening with silence. If you're sitting there and you're engaging in a conversation with somebody and all of a sudden they go, then they just stop. Well, all of a sudden you're still talking and they're not saying anything. And then you're continuing to talk and they're still not responding. Then they're just looking at you. Well, now all of a sudden the tone has changed. Then the person starts being nice. Right? Okay. That's one way to do it. And the other way is just to go neck and neck and see who's tougher. And I can play both roles for you on the deals, but I actually prefer not having to be soft or hard. I prefer just being normal, just getting the seller on the phone and just making it happen. But unfortunately, that's not real life, guys. All right, you're in the big leagues now. Page 77, getting the seller on the phone. Now, somebody had asked me earlier, they said, well, what about brokers? Do we use buyer's brokers or do you get your own broker? One broker or two. We're going to discuss that. But you do have buyer's brokers and you do have seller's brokers. Okay? You do have two. Now, if you go in there and you don't have a broker and there's just a listing broker that's listing the property, all right, you're going to be dealing direct with this person. And if you're dealing with unmotivated sellers, again, that's one thing. An unmotivated broker is another. I put it in writing for you right there. And I truly can't stand unmotivated brokers. I really can't. Because they could kill the deal just by being a control freak, and that's not fair. Brokers are salespeople. They work on commission, as we know. We want to work with brokers. They do make the best bird dogs. They get paid commission, usually 3 to 6%. You would think that they would want to go ahead and sell a deal and not cause waves. But remember I said miscommunication? Now, when you go in there and you say, look, we don't want to go ahead and front load this project, and I've been taught to buy with none of my own money or credit. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and get in on this thing, and we're going to buy this thing 2 ways if you want to do it with us. Broker will say, okay, well, I'm listening. Okay, well, it's either a joint venture or we can do a master lease option, and brushing the concept by them. They might think to themselves, okay, explain to JV. Well, then the property's contributed, and then we bring in everything over here, and the seller has to wait to get paid, but they're going to get paid more. The broker might scratch his head and say, well, that don't work for me. That means I'm not going to get paid. I don't want to do that. Next. Misinterpreted. Miscommunication. Brokers always get paid. They always get paid. They get paid up front. And sometimes we can go ahead and ask them if they want to wait, if they want to make more. And that's fine too. Just because they're a broker doesn't mean that we can't go ahead and offer them something different. You just have to make sure that it works in the particular laws in that state, that county, that city. And your attorney is the one that'll tell you if it does work or doesn't work. All right? Or you work with me, my attorney will tell you. So we do everything above board. Or presenting a master lease option. Well, all we want to do is go ahead and guarantee the income, and then we're going to go in there and increase it, and we buy it later on an option agreement. Then the broker might say, well, that won't work either. Because if I don't get paid, then why would I want to go ahead and do the deal? Follow what I'm saying? So you got to go ahead and let them know that they're going to go ahead and get paid right up front. Not only that, when we get the broker on the phone, we tell them that they're the only broker involved in the deal and that they're going to get paid. That'll deflate all of it. Now, when they do become unwilling to put the seller on the phone, I tried doing this. There's 2 approaches. Now, this is all about getting the seller on the phone. Do you guys understand how important it is to get the seller on the phone? Do you understand the difference between the seller and the owner? Who? Hello? Do you understand the difference between the seller and the owner? Okay. Guys, there could be a lot of different owners in the deal. There could be owners. It basically means the same thing, but not really. Owners are people that own property, meaning that if you are my partner, and you are my partner, and you two are my partner, now I have 2, 3, 4 partners in the deal, right? We're all owners, but he's a passive owner because he put money in the deal. She's a passive owner because she is a credit partner. And these 2 are passive owners as well because they're the ones that are managing the property that I gave a piece of the deal to. They have nothing to do with selling the property. I'm the seller because I'm the one controlling the property. I'm the owner, but I'm the seller. Getting the seller on the phone is different than getting an owner on the phone. The reason why is if he's on the phone and he doesn't have control, meaning that anything that just got passed through him, he's still got to tell me. Now think about it. If he talks to her first and says, can you go ahead and tell him? Then she tries to get in touch with me, but gets in touch with these 2. And she explains exactly what's presented, and then these 2 want to go ahead and tell me. Do you think by the time it goes from them to them to them to these 2 to me, that it's going to be the same message conveyed the right way? Never is. Never is. Now, that's what I mean by getting the seller on the phone. That's very, very important for you guys to understand that. The simplicity behind it, guys, right there, that'll save you from ever being on the phone with the person that's not the decision maker. Getting the decision maker on the phone, this one little nugget that I just gave you right now, hopefully you listened to what I said, will put you in such a strong position every single time you're on the phone. Every time you're on the phone with the broker, you're going to say, put the controlling partner online. Put the decision, are they the decision maker? How many partners are there? I want to speak, I need to set up a call with the decision maker with my firm, or with my group, or with my team, or with me. Guys, that one little nugget right there is going to save you a lot of time. A lot of time. So there's two approaches. When you're speaking with the broker and the broker just won't put the seller on the phone, there's two approaches. The first is to create a quick rapport with them. Ask them positive questions to get as many yes answers as possible. All right? You are the broker, right? Yes. I don't care if it's hypothetical. That's a nice area. The property's in good condition, yes? Yes. Well, you know it's in good condition because you already got the information on it from the LoopNet listing or wherever else you found it from. Right? The area is pro-growth, right? Yes. As many yeses as you can. Get them in yes mode. It doesn't really matter what you ask them, but make it relative to the property. Puff it up. Make it sound as if the sun is shining and they're about to get a huge payday. Look, write this down. The national company that I work with, the national group that I work with, we can go ahead and acquire property quickly as long as we can buy with the right terms. But the window of opportunity is closing quickly. You're the only broker in the deal, and I'll tell you right now, we like to use professionals. And we'd like to use you not only to buy this property, but once we turn it to its highest and best use, we'd like to go ahead and use your services to possibly sell it. What do you think that's going to do? Yes, it gives you instant credibility, and it gets them on your team. All right? I didn't say make up stories. I said make them feel comfortable. Now, what I just said is absolutely the truth. Look, if we can buy property at 10 cents on the dollar all day long with the right terms, 30 to 50 cents on the dollar with seller financing, master lease options, joint ventures, the whole shebang, is there a limit of how many properties we can take down? No, there is never a limit. We can continue going and going and going. All right? But then, make them feel comfortable and let them know this. Ms. Broker, the only way we can move forward from this point, and I appreciate your time, is to simply pull the seller on the call so we can discuss the way we can quickly move forward, because we do want to move forward quick. Now, I just request two things. I do want you to be on the call with me, and also, I need you to get the seller on the phone by tomorrow. Now, look, the reason our firm has identified a few other acquisitions in the area, we've already identified them. We know what's going on in the area out there, and this window of opportunity is closing. Now, look, I have tomorrow available at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time or 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. How does that sound? Can you arrange a call with the seller then? Remember the Vegas deal? I didn't even have to ask. I said, when do you think you get the seller on the phone? How's tomorrow? Great. Let's do it. Let me know what time. Email me. Okay. Guys, this is for hard heads, this section. All right? Chances are it's not going to happen. Only to you. The broker still isn't willing to get the seller on the phone. Still isn't willing. You can use this tactic. Now, you can bring in another broker, which is a buyer's broker. This is a very tough move. It's very effective. The broker will not be pleased if this happens because you're telling them what? Cutting their commission in half. All right? But if it gets the deal done and you're dealing with somebody unmotivated, it works. Now, if the broker paid 78, if the broker then has to split their commission, all right, they're not going to be happy. And this is the way I do it. Mr. Broker, at this point, I definitely 100% appreciate your time. But at this point, I've explained to you the only way we can move forward, and I really feel that this property is a true fit. It definitely meets my criteria. You have a copy of my acquisition criteria in your hand now. And the only way we can move forward is to pull the seller on the phone, and we need to have a meeting of the minds. All right? Then what will happen is we're going to submit an LOI. It's going to have our terms spelled out. Then we can move forward to contract. We can do this tomorrow at 2. Can you get the seller on the phone, make arrangements for that time, then wait for their response? What did you just tell them? You told them a lot. You told them a lot more than you think you told them just by saying that. I'll pick it apart for you. Number one, you told them that you're losing patience. And at this point, you've explained to them that the only way that you can move forward is to get the seller on the phone, and that's it. It's either that or nothing. Pass or play. You've hit the brick wall. It's time to make it happen, or you're going to kick rocks. The only way they can move forward is to pull the seller on the phone. And then you're telling them that you're going to have a meeting of the minds. You're telling them what's going to happen next in your phrase. Look, we're going to have a meeting of the minds. Then I'm going to go ahead and put it all on paper. Then I'm going to submit you an LOI quickly. You're going to go ahead and submit it to the seller of everything that we just negotiated. Then what we're going to do is go to contract and close on this bad boy. Get you paid. How does that sound? Absolutely it does. Right? And if this still is an uphill battle, there's only one other alternative. And this is it. At this point, Mr. Broker, look, if you can't pull the seller on the phone, let's do this. I have a buyer's broker in the area. They're top of their game. I know them well. I'll just go ahead and give them a call and work through them if that's what you want to choose to do. It's totally up to you, though. Look, I'd really like to work with you, but I just can't wait around and let this deal pass us by. It's only fair to give us a shot. We want to go ahead and make a deal. You understand this, right? This works, but can also backfire. Ask me how I know this. His name is Stu. A boy named Stu. Guys, you can work with sellers all day long, but I guarantee you that a broker has got some strong influence on the seller. Don't you think? The seller has put their confidence into this professional, right? They've told this professional, hands down, I want you to list my property. I want you to solve my problem. I want you to go ahead and represent me because you're top of your game, and I put all my faith in you, okay? So with that said, if you don't create a good rapport with the broker and you're not meshing good, then what you're doing is you're banging your head, okay? So focus on relationships. That's why we say relationships are worth more than money, because they are. They always have been. They always will be. Okay. I want to go ahead and talk a moment here on page 79 about purchase or JV. Because I know that some of you are curious whether it would be best to purchase the property with creative seller financing in terms, or if it would just be better to limit our exposure, right? To go ahead and limit our capital, to go ahead and limit our efforts and just do a joint venture. So here's the benefits of purchase. Make note. Benefits of a purchase is the deal is yours. It's yours alone. You get the deed on it when you close. There's no one to quibble with. You don't have to deal with anybody. All right? Plus, you get all the profit. You guys like that, right? Hello? Yes. But you also have the burden of taxes and debt service cost as well. So remember, exactly. Remember, if you have the burden of not so much the taxes, but the debt service, because you're not having that property conveyed to the deal, the property's not being on a contribution to the JV, then what you have to do is cover some debt service. Now here's the benefits of a JV, a joint venture. You don't have to purchase the land or building, and you don't have to pay debt service or taxes either, because it's owned free and clear. That's why we need it owned and free and clear, because if the seller is not doing any debt service, there's no reason that you need to do debt service. And guys, understand this for a JV under negotiations. I've had many, many, many deals come across my desk when I sat there and jumped on the phone and got to the negotiation point where I've told them straight out the first time, We do not front load the project with capital. If you're looking for commitment, we'll go ahead and put a little bit of skin in the game for commitment to move forward. But we're not going to front load the project with capital like a 10 or 20% down. Why would we say that? Guys, if we were going to be putting down 10 or 20%, you better believe it. We're going to be bringing in a credit partner that can go ahead and get a loan. And if we're going to be bringing in that capital anyway, there's no need to go ahead and use that seller for a JV. We might as well just beat them down on the price and get the thing for pennies on the dollar and just buy it. Okay? That's why we don't front load the thing with cash. And I tell them that the first time, and if it ever comes up, I squash it. And they go, oh, yeah, that's right. Forgot about that. Yeah. Look, if I'm going to put down 10 or 20%, what do I need you for? You tell them, the credit worthiness of our group and the capital that we can purchase this thing at, because of that and that alone, we wouldn't need to JV with you if we front loaded the project with capital. We don't front load our projects with capital. All you're doing is contributing the land. Your contribution of the land to the building, the asset, that's it. Okay? Now, joint venture. Seller dedicates the land to the project. That's what it is. You raise the money and do the work through experts. We know that. Make note. How much equity does the owner have in the land, and what is it worth? Guys, when we're going to even consider a joint venture, that is so very important to understand that. All right? Also, what percentage of profit do they want? I hope they don't say 50. I want 50%. We're partners now. Heard that one before. They're only going to be contributing 1/3. They're not contributing 50. 1/3. And they're going to be making a heck of a lot more money for waiting, but they have to be motivated to allow us to encumber a little bit of debt on their property for a very short period of time. That's the key that unlocks the vault. Now, if they have a little bit of debt and it's owned almost close to free and clear, like in the Vegas deal, $5 million, got a $70 million appraisal that's dated. The thing has an appraisal pending right now. It's going to be closer to about $126 million. About $5 million in debt. That'll be retired. Just take that out. That'd be equivalent to pennies on the dollar. All right? Now, you're contributing 2/3. That's a lot of money and a lot of work. It's a lot more. So you should be able to get a larger percentage, a larger cut. I just explain that to them right out of the gate. I just tell them straight out, look, it'd be 50-50 if you were going to go ahead and put some capital in or, get a loan. Are you in position to take out a loan against your own property so I can bring in the rest of the development team and the project management team to get it done? If you want to do that, then yeah, we can talk about a larger percentage. They'll say, no, if I wanted to do that, I would need you, I guess. Okay, fine. Seller financing, how much can you get? How long? What interest rate? And how much can you defer or accrue in? Okay.